Well, YouTube, hello. Well, I've got a bit of a surprise for you today. And no, it's not because I'm riding a manual bike. And no, I haven't forgotten how to ride a manual bike. The lovely chaps at Smith's Honda, a big thank you to Paul, in fact, at the manager at Smith's Honda, and also the guys at Bill Smith's Motors. They've given me a loan bike while mine's being looked into, and they've given me the Honda Transalp. Yeah, the brand new Honda Transalp. So what I'm going to do today, I'm going to give it a bit of a ride, give you my impressions of it, say what I think, how it feels, and my honest opinion. Now, I'm not one for bike reviews, as you all know. However, this is something I did look at the NEC last year, and I thought, you know what, I just fancy that. So I made up the guys that let me have a go at it. So the plan now is to take it for a little ride and give you my honest opinion. So guys, stick around, see you after the intro. Well, welcome back guys, welcome back. So I've had to open my visor a bit because it's for roasting. Well guys, I'm on the Honda Transalp. It's a 2023 model. Actually, when I do a little walk around in a bit, I'll give you the all the specs and what have you. First impressions, well, I've not really sort of ridden it far, but straight away I've got to say I like the TFT screen. I think it's absolutely fantastic. It's got the little rev counter on there, and they've got your speedo. Now what I like about it, and what I miss with the NT, is it's all digitally displayed, you know, so the rev counter's like a line rather than a clock. And what Honda have done with this is to provide you with a little clock. Now I know it seems silly, it actually looks quite nice. So first impressions, dashboard, I love it, it's clear. You can see your rev counter, and you like your clock designs, perfect. It looks very old analogy, but it's a TFT display. You got your normal gear selection, which is ideal. I suppose if you're doing a bit of off-roading, it is ideal really. You've got your usual traction controls, etc. Same as what you've got. It's a very similar design to the NT actually, in the Africa Twin, whereas you've got your power, your engine brake and your traction, your ABS, etc. So that's good. You got your it's even got the date, so that's unusual. But other than that, it's a typical Honda switch design. Not a great deal on this side, stop start, and that's about it really. On the left hand side, what have we got? Well, we got your pass control, horn, indicators and hazard lights, and that's about it really. It was a small function, assuming that's for the TFT. I ain't going to touch that. But other than that, the features are quite basic, but to be honest with you, it's probably what you need on a bike. There seems to be there's a blanking plate here, but I'm assuming that's for the, you can have a 12 volt socket in there. First impressions, I like it. My first like, I love the dashboard. It's crystal clear. The mirrors, to be honest with you, exactly the same as the NT if you want the truth. Probably the same mirrors. But the mirrors feel fine. Gearbox is smooth. Which, bear in mind, I've had a DCT for 12 months, so I've not ridden a manual in a while, but the gearbox is actually really smooth, I've got to be honest with you. Yeah, feels absolutely fine. You know, it's smooth, it's responsive, it's I think it's got a slipper clutch on this as well, so it makes it just that little bit more a bit more responsive, but she feels lovely, feels absolutely lovely. And it doesn't appear to be windy. If you wonder, alright, I'm only doing 40 mile an hour at the moment, but it doesn't appear to be a windy bike either. That screen seems to be doing a bit. She ain't heavy. No, she doesn't feel a heavy bike at all. So if you're into your off-roading, I suppose that's what you want. So my second impression, it's easy to move. Brilliant. You feel a bit higher up here as well, so the visibility feels a little bit better. I do like the visibility, you see, the mirrors are brilliant. You know, your seating position is upright, so you feel a bit more sit up and back, which is, to be fair, it's very similar to the Africa Twin and the and my NT. The seating position, to be honest with you, it doesn't feel that much different. I think she'd be a good honest tourer if you want the truth. I've not had her on the motorway yet, so I don't know what she's like at motorway speeds, but on the A road she seems fairly nimble enough. So yeah, I'm impressed with that. Clutch is actually quite smooth. I was saying the gearbox is smooth, the clutch is smooth. If you want the truth, I don't know anything about the fuel economy. I'm assuming it's, well, it's actually saying down here average consumption 63 to the gallon. I don't know how correct that is, whether it's been changed or not, but I'm assuming, looking at the size of the engine on hearsay of what the 750, the NC 750 did, you're probably going to get about 55 out of the gallon in real time, you know, which, to be fair, is about right for a bike. It might do a bit more, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong. So the tank seems very similar size as well to the NT. I think it's an 18 or 19 litre tank. I'll check that on the specs for you when I do a walk around. But I think it's about 18 or 19 litre, I think. But to be honest with you, sometimes, I mean, this hasn't got many gizmos like the NT's got, but if you want the truth, sometimes if there's less on a bike, you know, there's less to go wrong. And in a nutshell, it's what you want it to do. You know, what you really want it to do. You want it to get you from A to B. If you're doing touring, you know, if you're doing off-roading, you don't want any fancy gear in it other than the basic suspension settings, really. And believe me, I'm no off-road biker by any means. Yes, we've done by accident off-road stuff, but by all means I am not an adventure rider. I go on adventures, but I'm not an adventure biker. So it's this is also new to me, but this, yeah, and do you know what, she sounds lovely. What's she like at filtering? We can get around there. Actually, she's very good at filtering. Tell you what, you know, she's pretty nippy, and she does feel quite planted, if you want the truth. Yeah, she's alright, you know. Really impressed. Brakes are alright. Pretty good brakes on them. And she's got a little bit of grunt, you know. That does surprise me, that. For a 750, it's alright, you know. Quite impressed with this. This engine is no slouch. For a little engine, it's alright. For a little twin. Got a nice tone on her as well. When you start winding her up a little bit, she sounds really nice. Tell you what, she really does sound well, actually. Quite impressed. So, another like engine. She's alright. Brakes are pretty good, to be fair. I tell you what, she's definitely designed for these roads. Yeah, she is. Yeah, she's not bad at all, actually. She's soaking up the bumps, one, in truth, because this is actually a really bumpy road, you know, and she's soaking it up quite well, so the suspension's pretty good. I do like the tone of that engine. Really does sound good. Sound, especially that around about that 2,000 to 2,500 RPM, it sounds quite ropey. Really impressed with it, actually. I notice it's pretty good at sort of, you know, setting in third gear. You know, if you're doing sort of 20-30 mile an hour, it's really good at sort of, you know, low speeds. It's got plenty of grunt. I mean, these type of roads, it's ideal, you know, if you want to do a bit of touring on these, you know, country lanes and what have you. I think this is the bike. Really do. And I can see why Honda are upon a manual gearbox in this. This really wouldn't be the bike for a DCT, I don't think. You know, for the nature of the, or the style of the bike, you better keep it to a manual gearbox. YouTube, well, as promised, I'm going to go through a couple of the specs on this, the new Transalp. So what can we tell you a little bit about this? Well, apparently it starts at 9,499 according to the Honda website. It's a 750 2023 model. What we got, fuel tank, actually it was completely wrong, it's 16.9 litres, and they reckon it does 23 kilometres to the litre. Headlights are LEDs, and I like this protection thing on it as well, which I think is pretty good, to be fair. Other basics, what have we got? Engine type, it's a liquid cooled overhead cam 4-stroke, 8 valve parallel twin. I do like the exhaust on it, I'll be honest with you. Absolutely fantastic exhaust. Transmission clutch, got a slipper clutch on it, which I think is absolutely fantastic. The brakes, what have we got down here? We've got brakes for front of the dual 310mm 4.5mm disc, axial mount, 2 piston calipers. There you go. And we've got Showa front suspension and rear suspension. It's a ProLink swing arm. Tyre size 90/90, 21 and 150/70. The TFT is actually, you've seen a picture of that, it's absolutely amazing. So yeah, what are my impressions? First of all, I think it's blooming great. If you want the truth, I think it's fantastic. The only thing I will say, owning an NT 1100 with a comfort seat, it does spoil it a bit for other bikes. So the only thing I will say, it's not as comfy as my NT. That's the only downside. However, I've got a comfort seat in the NT, so if you, to be honest with you, it's not that bad. It's all right, actually. I think I've just been treated to a softer seat. That's all I can say. I've been lucky, been treated to one. But overall, the 750 is an amazing bike. I've got to be honest with you, I'm really impressed with it. You put a guard on the radiator there, which you don't get with the NC, sadly. You don't get that with the NC. But I've been really impressed with it. It's great. A lovely, lovely, lovely looking bike. You've got your protection bars. Overall impressions? Yeah, really good. So if you're interested, go and check out www.smithshonda.co.uk. I'm sure they'll let you have a go. But first impressions, absolutely fantastic. So that's it. My impressions. Well, you've heard a lot of what I've been saying as I've been riding down here. I think it's a really good bike, especially for commuting. And I think if you're doing a bit of touring in these sort of, just bring the camera around into these, you know, country lane sort of scenarios, I think it's, if you want the truth, it's perfect for that. Absolutely perfect. Again, I don't know what it does to the gallon. It reckons it's doing 60 to the gallon on there. I think time will tell. You need it for a few days really to get more of an insight on what it's doing. When I was riding it before, I said the clutch is nice. Clutch is alright. I'm really impressed with that. But I tell you what, for £9.5 grand, you've got yourself a bargain there. You can get, you know, panniers for it. Probably it's got a bracket there for the top box. So there's no reason why it won't be a cracking little tourer for you. I think it'll serve really well, long distance and short distance. I'll be honest with you, I think it's great for these roads. However, I think for a tour it'd be alright, you know. I think it'd be absolutely fine. Absolutely fine for the tour. The engine seems, it's got a lot of grunt in it. Seems fairly nippy. Now, here comes the question. If I hadn't bought the RT, would I have bought one of these? In a nutshell, if I'd have ridden it before the RT, yeah, I think I would. Got a touring pack on it, be absolutely fine. It's light enough, nimble enough, it's comfy enough. It reminds me very much, again, the engine feel reminds me very much of the old DeVille I had. So would I have one? Yeah, I think I would. Would I have bought one? Yeah. Yeah, I've been really impressed with it. So that's it, guys. I'm going to ride off home and let you have one final look at this. So that's it, guys. The Honda Transalp 750 2023 model. If you like the look of it, go and check it out. Yeah, impressed. Absolutely impressed.